Hello friends. In the previous class, we learned about what are fractures and types of fractures. In today's video, we will learn about the complication of fracture. First of all, let's see what are the stages or process held in bone healing or fracture healing. So, there are 5 stages in fracture healing. Let's see what are they. So, here you can see the pictures. Like first one hematoma formation, second one granulation tissue formation, third one callus formation, fourth one consolidation, fifth one bone remodeling. So let's see what are they. So in first stage hematoma formation, during the break blood vessels are damaged as well. This will create a hematoma, clotted blood that swells inside the bone tissue. So here when the fracture occurs, there will be bleeding at the fracture site. It will make a fibrin clot. So here you can see the picture. So when the fracture occurs here, there will be bleeding at the fracture site. Here you can see. So the next one, stage 2, granulation tissue formation. So it is the stage where the inflammation occurs. Hours later, the hematoma is reabsorbed while being replaced by inflammatory molecules. These molecules are your body's first line of defense and clean out dead bone and prepare the fracture site for tissue, cartilage and bone formation. This stage is a rebuilding of vessels and cells affected by the fracture. So here you can see the image. So third stage is callus formation. A soft callus is formed. The callus is made of newly formed osteoblast and osteoclast, the two types of cell needed for your natural bone remodeling process. Capillaries and supporting blood vessels connect into the callus as the rebuilding process continues. So here you can see the image. And the fourth stage is consolidation. The new bone built to this point is a softer bone called woven bone. But during the consolidation stage of healing, a stronger type of bone called lamellar bone replaces the woven bone. So here you can see the image, consolidation. So the last stage, the fifth stage, bone remodeling. The lamellar bone ultimately fills in the fracture site and aligns in direction of the external force on the bone. This stage can last anywhere from a few months to a few years. So these are the stages that occur during a fracture healing. First one hematoma formation, second one granulation tissue formation, third one callus formation, fourth one consolidation, fifth one bone remodeling. So next we will discuss about the complication of fracture. So in today's video we are discussing about the early complication of fracture or immediate complication of fracture. So in this there are 4 topics to study. Hypovolemic shock, first one. Second one, injury to blood vessels. Third one, injury to nerves. Fourth one, injury to muscle. So let's discuss in detail. So first one, hypovolemic shock. So what are the causes of hypovolemic shock? First one, severe trauma. Second one, multiple fractures. Third one, fractures of pelvis and long bones. Fourth one, severe visceral injuries. So these are the causes of hypovolemic shock. So next we can see the clinical features. So first one shock, second one coma, third one cardiorespiratory failure, fourth one excessive internal or external bleeding, fifth one renal failure. Therapeutic approach of hypovolemic shock. Control bleeding by localized external pressure, start IV line, instant CPR, restore cardiorespiratory function, restore blood fluid volume. Immediate surgery to repair vessel, nerve, catheterization of bladder, measure to prevent infection, instant splinting of the injured limb, provide pelvic compression lamp, prevent excessive bleeding and stabilize pelvic fractures. Specific physiotherapy measures. First one, limb supporting splint. Second one, chest physiotherapy. So next is injury to blood vessels. So let's see what are the causes. Blunt or sharp injury, vasospasm, incomplete or complete tear, compression of tight bandage or POP cast, hematoma. Next is clinical features. Limb may be cyanosed, cold and pale at the distal end. Second one, pulselessness or feeble pulse. Third one, gradual onset of ischemia and later gangrene. Next we can see the therapeutic approach. Supportive splintage, immediate reduction of the fracture, explore and repair artery or vein and improve distal circulation. Next one, specific physiotherapy measures. Localized pressure at the bleeding points, compression bandage, limb support in elevation, avoid thermotherapy, active or assisted movement to distal joints. Next one, injury to nerves. Nerve may be injured by crushing, stretching, compression or division. Clinical features. Assess neurovascular status distal to injury. Gradual sensory impairment in its distribution. Paresis or paralysis in the innervated muscles. Cold limbs. Therapeutic approach. Splint to prevent overstretching of injured nerve and contractures. Protect anesthetic areas from heat, cold or injury. Nerve repair. Specific physiotherapy measures. Splint, conduct diagnostic test to assess injury, continue distal movements. After repair, motor and sensory. First one, re-education. Second one, biofeedback. Third one, functional restoration. Next one, injury to the muscle. May be direct or indirect. Clinical features. First one, localized hematoma. Swelling over the injured area with redness, warmth and tenderness. Second one, isometric and isotonic contractions are painful. Let's see the therapeutic approach. Non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, immobilization by splint or bandage, rest and support to adjacent joint. Specific PT measures. Supportive splint. Muscle injury heals by fibrosis and may form adhesion. Therefore, early movements are begun to prevent contractures. So these are the topics that I have covered in early complication of fractures or immediate complication of fractures. I have made simple notes for you all. So in early complication of fracture, you all know that this occurs in the initial few days after the fracture. So let's end here. So in next class, we will be discussing about late complication of fracture. Thank you.